to fall for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than.
Listen. Playing Purge music during quarantine. It's last night.
We found businesses being accused of trying to make a quick dollar by price gouging.
Just definitely. You know, the Attorney General's office over in Harrisburg tells us he's received hundreds of complaints of price gouging since the coronavirus outbreak. Now he's working to put an end to it.
People are trying to take advantage of Pennsylvanians during this challenging time, and I simply won't allow it.
Attorney General Josh Shapiro has sent cease and desist letters to some 50 businesses across the Commonwealth for price gouging. Cease and desist letters to some 50 businesses across the Commonwealth for price gouging.
We in the Office of Attorney General will go after price gougers wherever they are.
Right now, one of the most coveted items are N95 face masks. Big box stores like the Home Depot are just about sold out of them, but here at Cohen & Company on East Passyunk in South Philly, they're being sold for about $10 to $14 each. Their normal price, just a couple bucks.
I would just say maybe a couple of things. Number one is spend more time on your knees than on the internet.
Purge.
They talking about clear this up. We ain't going nowhere. This our hood. Y'all ain't run nothing down here. Yo, let's go. Clear this up. We ain't going nowhere. It's over for that. We ain't going nowhere. I be dumb, I let niggas see lacking me. My niggas be all like that was. I'm feeling good. Great, bitch. Run, junkie, run the mud. Nigga run up to get ball. Blah. Niggas just bust out the mud. My niggas nowhere on the set. This our hood. Weather break, y'all might as well can that. We out here on the set. Man, don't tell me what to do. This my hood. Nigga, this my hood. This my hood. This my hood. Nigga, what the fuck you talk about? I ain't gotta. Shut up. You don't run nothing out. Shut up. You don't run nothing out here. You ain't got no.
O'Connor today, a law enforcement vehicle procession will pass by his house in Northeast Philadelphia. Sergeant O'Connor was shot and killed while serving a warrant in Frankfort last week. A public viewing was supposed to be held for him yesterday, but was postponed indefinitely because of COVID-19.
Oh, look at the boy. Look at the boy. Oh, look at him. 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 Stupid.
Yuki, as Steph was just saying, the number one priority is stopping the spread of COVID-19 in the healthcare community. But how can we help to protect them? We asked an expert for some answers. A safety and security expert and a retired SWAT sergeant in New Jersey. He's educating the public on what they can do to protect healthcare workers while healthcare workers protect us.
Make sure you know where your emergency is. And then when first responders get there, make sure you practice that social distance. Make sure you practice that social distance there. Make sure you practice that social distance. Don't run up to them and crowd them. Let them come to you and kind of direct where they need you to stand.
Jones also says clearing a room is key. If you don't need to be in a room emergency personnel is in, don't be. So he says social distancing and washing your hands continues to be a great aid when dealing with emergency workers, and if possible, patience can go a long way.
order out of chaos. The actual motto of the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemasonry. I thought it was unexpected.
There continue to be evaluations of several drugs where Bavarian is among them. But right now, our best defense has been social distancing. No handshaking, staying home when you're sick, washing your hands frequently.
Washing your hands continues to be a great aid.
But I thought they didn't plan for it, and all this unexpected stuff was coming. And this is the same dude in the movie in real life. Yeah, dude that works for CNN is in the movie Contagion.
Can't plan for this.
Did he just say they didn't plan for this?
Can't plan for this. It's make sure you practice that social distance.
Wait, you didn't plan for us to all be locked in our cribs, quarantined, martial law coming, walking around with face masks on, social distancing, not wanting to be 6 feet by everyone, scaring everyone. You guys didn't plan that? Well, hold up, because I say different. First, listen to this, guys.
Good afternoon, I'm Jonathan
Quick
Athens,
vid.
the Cocopah Indian Tribe Public Relations Department.
I'm Mike Fila. I'm the emergency manager for the Cocopah Indian Tribe.
And we're coming to you live streaming from the Cocopah Emergency Management Emergency Operations Center. We're located in Sumter, Arizona. This is day one of a 4-day exercise known as Crimson Contagion. Of a 4-day exercise known as Crimson Contagion. Of a 4-day exercise known as Crimson Contagion. This is an exercise that dozens of state and local governments and agencies are participating in conjunction with the federal government.
Yeah, right now, today is the first day of a 4-day exercise that we're going to participate in with the state and the nation. And really what we're doing is remember, this is just an exercise, and what we're doing is we're saying that there's a pandemic flu strain that has came from China. We're saying that there's a pandemic flu strain that has came from China. That's infecting some cities here in the United States, and we're just coming to a point where we're at actually day 47 of the outbreak. And we're testing our policy and procedures. We're testing internal communications and external communications, making sure all our systems are run. That's today's day one. We are testing policy group, making those decisions. And we're here in the EOC. There's nobody else in here, just a couple of us. Really quiet right now. But we hope that you tune back on Friday. We're gonna do some live updates throughout the next 4 days. But we hope that you tune back on Friday, because you're gonna see this office in action with all the stations manned, and we're going to be working through the scenario and using the tools that we have here to make better decisions.
And this is going to give you an inside look as to how we go about preparing for emergencies. It is literally about...
Quick note. I'm pretty sure it ends with the clock where it's at. Which, if it does, I'm pretty sure it does, is not by accident. It's done by design. 2:33. And for order out of chaos, or order from disorder. The term was invented by Freemasons and is the actual motto of the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemasonry. They didn't plan for this. No.
It's mutated.
Which way, better or worse?
It's moved into an African HIV/AIDS population. The Durban cluster is highly divergent. We have a new R, not Ellis. It's not 2 anymore.
33 with a 2 next to it, you start pulling out a couple 6s. You get what I'm saying? And then you see this is 8/13, August 13th.
Preparedness, and as the cliche goes, time is of the essence every step of the way. You're going to get to watch part of this exercise in real time, and again, we are going to keep you updated on Thursday and again on Friday, when this operations center is going to be filled with all the key personnel.
Yeah, so tune back, and I hope to give you some insight on what we do and how we plan for emergencies here.
Now, real quick, guys, because I'm going to get right back into the video. This will be what we do later. We'll be digging way deeper into this, but just to show you how that dude said it, it's not like we planned it, or they could have planned it. Well, actually, in reality, they did plan it. And yes, I know about Event 201, Truth. A lot of people don't know about it. But I showed you guys how the Rockefeller Foundation wrote scenarios for the future of technology and international development, which was 2010, that also basically planned what's going on right now. Key thing to point out real quick is, remember I told you to remember the number 47? Well, one city that was a major player in this exercise was Chicago. I actually got confused and thought number 1 might have been Chicago. Well, the reason I did is because I knew I read it somewhere. And see, I read it again today, that they're saying the first one was in Chicago, and in other mainstream lying media says the first one was in Seattle. So, you know, that's how I got confused. So, either or, right? Okay, the first case in Chicago, January 24th, 2020. And then 47 days later from that day, WHO declared it a pandemic. And that's why I said remember the number 47.
Day 47 of the outbreak.
Okay, and also, this one here is the main one. The Trump administration did an exercise called Crimson Contagion. This is the main PDF we'll be going over, but there's also this one, which is a Chicago part of it. Agenda, Public Health Emergency Preparedness and Response Overview, CDPH's role in Operational Crimson Contagion, Media Campaign, Public Awareness, you know what I mean, the overview. I'll point out a couple things, very, just, you know, alarming, I'll say, but not scared at all. All these Chicago health facilities involved closed POD exercise on 9/11/2019. 9/11/2019. See that? Closed it. They ended it on 9/11/2019. Like I said, we'll get more into this later. But real quick, it's called Crimson Contagion, right? Well, remember, Contagion, the movie, came out on September 11th. Think about it.
Live at police headquarters with the latest on the investigation, as well as the victim's conditions. Trang.
Well, Janelle and Jim, that man is 30 years old, and we are told that he is in critical condition after someone shot him in the face. Now, found alongside him were 2 other men who were both shot in their legs, and they are stable. Now, police have not yet made any arrests, but they do have a good amount of evidence to work with.
It suddenly became part of a crime scene. The owner, Mike Pong, is seen here washing the car Saturday afternoon around 1:30 when a man holding a loaded AK-47 came up and shot him in the hip. Pong fell to the ground.
He's been in 3 surgeries so far. He does have a rip to his femoral artery and
this is what Philly's about.
The shooter ran off and is still on the run from police.
We know he still has that gun and could
they
potentially
do,
use
guys.
it again against somebody else in the community.
Police Lieutenant John Walker says Pong did not know the shooter and was just randomly attacked while washing his car.
Nearly 24 high-powered guns taken off the streets in Philadelphia. 200 people were arrested in a major takedown in Kensington.
From the bottom, all we know is the block. Go hard, we don't know when to stop. Remember F had coke, had dope, had blow on the block.
In addition to getting the drug dealers off the streets, police say they also confiscated nearly $700,000 worth of drugs. They called it a win for the city.
Cocaine, heroin, crack cocaine, marijuana, and synthetic marijuana.
Problem, reaction. solution.
Just a sampling of the confiscated drugs taken off the streets in Kensington. Much of the investigation was centered on Allegheny Avenue near Wayman Street. Over the course of 4 days, Philadelphia police got over 24,000 grams of drugs off the streets.
Okay, the cases, problem, reaction, solution. Philadelphia's drug overdose death rate among highest in the nation. A man prepares a shot of heroin and cocaine near train tracks in the Kensington section of Philadelphia. Kensington, the news story that we're watching right now of the drug bust, that's Kensington. Philadelphia had second highest rate of drug overdoses deaths in 2016 among nation's 44 counties with over 1 million residents, 46 per 100,000 residents, with most attributed to the misuse of opioids. Only Allegheny County, which includes the city of Pittsburgh, had a higher rate. That's where I'm at, Allegheny County. Drug overdoses death rate per 100,000 residents in 2016. 50.2 people in Pittsburgh per 100,000 people died from a heroin overdose. 46 people per 100,000 people in Philly died of a heroin overdose. This is at 423, and the drug overdoses in Philly just from January to March is 257, just in the city of Philly alone. So this is nationwide, 423. So in 2017, it was 70,237 people died from an opiate overdose. 2018, 67,367 people died from a drug overdose. Problem, reaction, solution. 140,000 people died from a drug overdose, and they got our whole country locked down right now. Over 423 people dying. Problem, reaction, solution. The national data compiled by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, are problem, reaction, solution. Obviously, you can see they're paying attention to this. They know about this. Obviously, and think about that. What's the real pandemic here?
Like your city, my nigga, it's a war zone. Women getting shot more than niggas. Keep your daughter home. Of course, we got killers.
Officers shot the scene unfolding this evening. A hostage standoff in Philadelphia. I believe it's fears over the coronavirus which is causing this. More than normal activity, 520 co-owner Ken Poon says, may be linked to worries about the coronavirus.
Now, maybe like a lot of people scared and then they don't want to go to the Chinatown a little bit.
We've been hearing concerns about coronavirus. I think it's unfortunate that folks are looking at what's happening in China and then looking at Chinatown, Philadelphia, and sort of making this connection that really should not be there.
We're a handful of people wearing masks.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. Yeah, I'm not concerned. Yeah, I'm not concerned.
And as you just heard, most folks really not too concerned.
By the day. The World Health Organization says it poses a greater global threat than terrorism.
Go figure.
Still issuing tickets. The world's falling apart. And this fucking pig is still giving tickets out. Look at this. The world is falling apart and he's still giving tickets. What a fuckwit. Sydney City Council. Absolute fucking dickhead.
Spreading like a virus, replicating, spreading like a virus, multiplying in exponentials. 6 months' time, I could have 100 million people converted, ditch diggers, porn stars, and presidents. Not one would be the wiser. 100 million people will buy what I want them to buy and do pretty much damn well anything I figure they ought to do.
It's in the static, it's in the moisture, it's in here, it's out there.
2020, the year to see it clear. This is the time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Whatever happens, whatever decisions you make from here on out, and all of us, collective whole, the decisions we make will have such an impact on not only the future, but the future generation. We're talking about our kids, our grandkids, our kids, grandkids, kids, our family, our friends' kids. We're talking about making a generational impact. This is the time. I've been saying for the last year on YouTube that during Trump's presidency, we were going to be part of history. during this time, during his term, whatever happens was going to be so big. It was going to be talked about 100 years from now, taught in history class. So just remember that, because when they come with that mandatory vaccine, ID 2020, it's on us to do what we got to do to make a change.
And those that have the Holy Ghost, those that have been filled with the Holy Ghost from a time, the Bible said, in the last days, saith the Lord, that I will pour out in those days of my spirit upon all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. The Bible says that God was going to loosen the latter rain, because the latter rain is going to be greater than the former rain. He's talking about our anointing that's going to break the yoke in this generation. The yokes that we need to set our children free. The power of God is here in the power of Jesus' name. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. The Bible says there's no other name given among men hereby that we must be saved in the precious name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. The Bible said that he rose so that we can rise up, amen, and be delivered. Praise the Lord, everybody. Come on, praise him. Give the Lord a praise him.
Praise him. Go, guys, praise him.
Jesus is coming.
In Jesus' name.
That the church is going to be called away in this old world. And amen, this old world is going to burn. The Bible says it's going to melt away.
6:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Trump just activated the National Guard in New York, California, and Washington. God bless America. America, we need Jesus.